with one website.
Let's do more of a brand cohesiveness. You got us in front of Leighton Engage. Then we came up with a website and name, one cohesive name for all the companies. And so it's foreverstonememorials.com. They're all linked to that website, and it'll get us to all the contacts that we need. Our salespeople, some of those are in there, and so they can be contacted as well if need be, if we're not in either one of those areas.
Leighton Engage. Find your focus.
Join Faith Lutheran Church for their holiday baking extravaganza Saturday, December 21st from 9 to 11:30. There will be a large variety of homemade cookies, candies, and more available to purchase. You pick your own holiday treat and how many you want. You pay by the pound or as marked. There will be coffee or cider available for you to enjoy with your holiday treat. So check out the Faith Lutheran Church Holiday Baking Extravaganza Saturday, December 21st from 9 to 11:30. 423 South Broadway, Pelican Rapids.
Amplify the good in our community with gratitude on repeat. Participating is simple. Head to our website and fill out the nomination form. The nonprofit with the most nominations from each location will receive a free advertising campaign in 2025. Gratitude on Repeat makes an impact for the winning nonprofits and the individuals these organizations serve. Their stories are inspiring and their work is remarkable. Nominations are accepted through the end of the year at layton.media.
Despite overwhelming support from Democrats and Republicans, time is running out for Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act, which will keep AM radios in cars. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP. This message is furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From the lakes to the plains to anywhere in the world, KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app. News Talk 1250 AM KBRF, Fergus Falls.
News Talk 1250 KBRF now presents The Coaches Show with Craig Olson. Brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, LB Homes, American Federal Bank, American Legion, the Minnesota Motor Company, and by the Artisan Agency. Here's KBRF Sports Director Craig Olson.
Sports. Fergus Falls Sports, Hillcrest Sports over the next hour. We'll be visiting with coaches, and we're going to start with Brad Strand. And Brad is assistant coach to Matt Johnson on the Otter boys side. What a week for the Otter boys. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you, Craig. Good to be here.
No stranger to this.
We've done this a few times.
Yes, that's your first rodeo, as they say. And the Otters this week, couple of home games. Nice to get the home season rolling. You know, you opened on the road with a couple, but there's nothing like playing in your home gym.
Our guys love being at home in the crowd. The community support for Fergus basketball is always great. And so it's fun for the home fans to get a chance to see our guys that aren't able to get on the road. So, yeah, it's really good for our guys to be at home and have that normal routine maybe or a different routine of just going to class and be able to run home, maybe get a sandwich, come back, watch a little film, watch JV, and play basketball.
I know announcers love home games too, you know. You have that same familiarity and don't have to get on the road so early either. But, Otters win 66-54 over Rocori in their home opener, and then last night, 79-71 over Apollo. So a couple of Central Lakes Conference wins. There's a pattern developing here, Brad. And it's Ryan Hurst, Henry Bethel, Levi King. Those three guys have been leading you pretty consistently.
Yeah, they've been really, really good. And since that CLC schedule started with those home games, boy, Levi's really improved. But last night, his first half was great. But Ryan Hurst and Henry Bethel, they put on a show and showed why they are elite players for the Central Lakes and in this part of Minnesota.
They seem to really have a feel for each other out there too, and I'm not saying it's a three-headed monster or three-man team because there's so many other roles that are filled there and complementary roles. But when you have guys that have the athleticism that they have, you need to utilize them, and they just seem to really have that sixth sense with each other on the court.
And their quick twitch muscles are next level. I mean, how those guys can jump and how they can move and how they can cut side to side, it's impressive. And just kind of the fearlessness. I think being seniors, they're just not worried about maybe making a mistake, and as a result, they just get to the basket or they hit the shot, go get the rebound. It's really been fun to watch.
How do you defend that, right? I mean, that's got to be a question every coach in the CLC is pondering as they look at your game films.
Well, like down the stretch last, I mean, Ryan was so good, inside, outside. And then Henry, boy, you think he's only a guard. And then when we needed a bucket, he went into the post against Apollo last night and had a quick spin move, put the ball in the hoop. He's really hard to guard. When those guys get going, and Levi, how many rebounds does he just snatch out of the air and just flies around?
And rebounding, of course, a lot of desire there. You got to want it. You got to have some ability, too. But, boy, if you want it, along with the ability he's got, good luck battling that.
Yeah, and good instincts, right? Just good athletic instincts. But if you were to measure the vertical jump of those three guys, I don't know if I've coached guys that have had that level of vertical with three guys. They can really get off the ground, and they play just so fast.
Well, and if they haven't already, they will definitely set a dunk record for the season, will they not?
Yeah, I know Coach Foose. He's got a number that we're the coaches are going under on. But yeah, those guys can really get up. And Levi hasn't got one in a game that I'm aware of, but he will. And Ryan, what's he getting? Probably 3 a game. And when Henry gets one, like everyone's got to look around, like how did he just do it? But we Otter fans know he can do it. But if you're a visiting team and you see a point guard go down and rip that ball through, it's like. Very impressive.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're a fun team to watch. Let's talk about the win over Ricori, first of all. Matt, Coach Johnson said he's very pleased with their defensive efforts. So talk about what you're seeing on that side of the ball from this group.
We've really put an emphasis on changing a few things, and that's really, we talk sometimes taking away middle, we'll teach it, but now we're really emphasizing it, demanding it. And we're just playing more aggressive, and I think it's really going to pay off for us as we continue to get through this season. I mean, we're just at the beginning, just scratching the surface, I think, as far as how good this team can be defensively. When they start denying that reversal pass, when they start trapping that baseline, there's still some pieces because there's, as I say, other teams practice too, so they can make that pass sometimes to the open player because there is going to be somebody open when we send 2 at a ball. But we're working on getting deflections, getting active hands, tracing the ball. And with this team's athleticism, not just the 3 you mentioned, but I would say we've got 8 guys, 9 guys that are really 10 guys that are really athletic, not counting some of the JV guys. So I think we need to continue to use that athleticism and create havoc. And sometimes we have to wear those teams down a little bit. And people will make mistakes when they get tired. We all know that.
Well, and talking about aggressive defense like that and the up-tempo pace, you need depth. You need quality depth. You need to be able to give your guys a few minutes on the bench to kind of get refreshed and to have the confidence in, 9, 10 deep. Well, that's going to make a huge impact.
It will. So we're going to continue working on that and making an emphasis in practice to make sure everybody's on the same page and everyone does their job. They talk about that in football. Everyone be assignment sharp, and same way in basketball. Many times we got to sometimes the assignments break down. We just got to fix it, as Coach Johnson will say. We got to fix it, and then once we fix it, we got to then whatever player we have to dial in and make sure we're doing our job with where they are on the floor.
So have you, and it's early in the season, and have you settled into kind of a rotation pattern yet, or are you figuring things out as far as who's coming in for who, where, and when?
I think we're settling into a rotation of 8. 8, as a basketball coach, 7, 8 is really a nice number to rotate. That 9, 10, 11 gets really hard. But right now we're kind of settling in at 8 for normal stretches, and different players can play different positions. So, for example, we can play a Jack Ratz and Ryan Hurst together against most teams. Last year I know you would yo-yo the 2 for each other, but this year they can. We're figuring ways to blend them together. And I would say, when we came in, we didn't know exactly who was going to start, but I would say like a Levi King has really he's really elevated his game. Just made so many improvements from where he was last year. He's really been one of those solid contributors as a starter.
You mentioned your seniors, and you have great senior leadership and a number of seniors on this team, and every coach loves to have that strong senior class. I think of one of your juniors, Micah Johnson, who played as a sophomore last year and got to play with a lot of these guys. And how much did last year's seasoning help Micah get ready for this year?
I think a lot. He's been with this group. To me, he just seems like one of the guys, one of the seniors, to be honest, yet he's a junior. Micah's on-ball defense is probably the best on our team. Like last night, he had the assignment of covering Isaiah Washington, and I know he still got his points, but he had to earn them. And it took a critical charge late in the game. I know Levi had taken a charge earlier in the game off him, and just standing in there and be willing to take it. But Micah does a really nice job defensively, being in the right spot, the right time, active hands, and just hounding those players. Like it doesn't let them relax. And he played almost a ton last year as a sophomore. So I don't even think of him as a junior. Yeah. He's got a lot of experience.
Well, that might be another stat that sets an all-time record, taking charges. I mean, this team they love it. Come on.
It's such an energy giver to the team when you're willing to step in there and take one. And of course, there's more challenges now with the arc. You got to make sure your heels are outside that arc, and which means you got to be in good defensive guarding position. And I love it. And our players, I just love how they'll respond to the player that takes it. I mean, if he's on the ground, you're going to have all of our guys running over there to help him get him up. And the bench is going to go crazy, and the coaches, of course, love it.
It's one of those stats that doesn't show up in the box score. It should maybe, because it's so important. Like you said, such a pivotal play can be as much as a dunk or a burying a long three in a crunch time. But last night against Apollo, Matt... Again, Coach Johnson said you didn't have your best stuff going, but the good teams find a way to win when you don't have your best stuff. But at the end, you went on a run, a 19-3 run that just kind of put you over the top. What kind of keyed that and got the momentum going?
Yeah, that run, we were texting each other last night, and the number I remember was being stuck on 34 forever in the first half. We just got stuck there. And that down the stretch, that 19-3 run, I just think, be honest, I'm going to attribute some of it to senior leadership. And the guys just dug in, and number one, you got to get defensive stops. And you need to get consecutive defensive stops when you're going to go on runs. So we work on getting, stop, score, stop, or vice versa. But you got to get consecutive defensive stops, which we dialed in defensively. And some of those were taking charges, getting deflections, ball out of bounds, getting the rebound. And we had some easy buckets in transition, like we did in that run in the first half. So you get some easy buckets. And then when it became crunch time, we also had some guys that just were gritty, like Henry going into the post. We actually made some free throws also down the stretch. We had a little trouble making some free throws in that first half, and down the stretch, we part of that 19 was a number of free throws as well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's a great finish. Coaches love to see. How many times have I heard coaches say the first 3 minutes of the half and the last 3 minutes of the half are important. More important than any minutes, probably, but you like to start strong and finish strong.
Absolutely, those last 3 minutes are pretty important.
Oh man, yeah, and you got you get to foul trouble or something, or injury or something. You've got to have the depth, and you have it out there to have strong kids on the floor when you finish as well. Now, talk about the Ellison boys a little bit here. What they add to the picture too, because we're talking about depth a little bit and minutes, and you want these guys to get their opportunity, but when they get their opportunity, they got to make something happen out there. And it seems like you got guys that can step in off the bench and just get right involved.
Right. So Alex was a starter for us last year, and just really physical, gritty, tough guy that can defend. And last night in the second half, he really turned that level up as well. I remember him diving on the floor on one of our blitz ball screens up near half court. We didn't get the ball, but that energy becomes contagious. And all of a sudden, other guys were picking that up. And so he really had a nice second half. And Isaac, I might throw him in as also that most improved player that we have on our team. He's also grown another couple inches.
That helps.
So everyone, we think of Isaac as our three-point shooter, and that's still going to come, trust me. Both him and Luke, those guys can shoot the ball. We haven't shot it real well early part of the season, but it will come. There's no doubt about it. But Isaac, he can do a lot more things besides shoot the three. Sometimes I think people forget that. His length, I love his cuts to the basket, but I think maybe his biggest improvement is on the defensive end. He can guard anybody. And he's going to get a deflection. He can guard the small guards. He can guard the big guards. He can cover forwards. I really love the difference, the energy that he has brought off the bench for us.
You've got some guys who really have a blocking ability, too, in their arsenal. Ryan, of course, is a great shot blocker. Is that an area that you spend a lot of time on in practice or use as a key defensively? Because it's a fine line. You got to have the right type of execution.
I would say no, we don't practice on that really at all. And I'll say I like a block when we're in a good guarding position. I don't like it when we open up our hips and we let them get to the basket just so we could have that block. I sometimes think not a lot of good things come out of a block. Sometimes it gets tipped right to the other team. They still get a layup, or unless you can go grab that ball, and snatch it out of the air, which we do have some guys that can pin it on the backboard. And I like those kind of blocks, but I would say, we don't practice it much, but I know that it gets the crowd going and it gets the players going. And I know sometimes, even though coach might not want them to open up and let them block it, sometimes they'll do that because they know that it does give some energy. And as long as you don't swing and if you do it in legal guarding position, so the official doesn't, get one on you.
Right.
It definitely brings some energy. And we have some guys that can definitely, like we said, talk about verticals. We have some guys that can really jump.
Yeah, use it, but be selective when you're using it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you've got a game tonight with Cheyenne, West Fargo Cheyenne coming in. What do you know about them?
Well, they're the defending state champs, North Dakota. That's what I do know. We played them this past summer, but I also know that when we played them this past summer, I think maybe the next day, their best player, Tommy Oneman, I think is his name, he transferred to Cretin-Derham Hall. He's a Notre Dame commit. He's about 6'10". When we played him this summer, we talked about how many big guys we had. We said, well, we know they had one that was really, really big, and he was really good. He is really good. So he transferred to Cretin-Derham Hall, so we'll probably see him in the Minnesota State tournament, I would guess.
Okay.
But when you're a defending state champ, you have other players besides him. So, we're going to try to watch. We have not watched a lot of film, but I know this afternoon we're going to try to watch a little film, try to find some games that they've had against Bismarck and Minot in particular, and we'll try to dial in and be ready for. It's fun to have some different teams come in.
Yeah.
I think we play a few of the Fargo schools. We've already played Moorhead, but I think we have West Fargo and we have Fargo Davies on our schedule as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun evening. So if you're looking for something to do tonight, come out and watch the Outer Boys.
Yeah, and the girls play Davies at 3, and then you play at 6, I believe, with the varsity tonight. And then you go on the road. We talked about being at home, but you go to Sartell and Little Falls this week. So.
Yeah, right before Christmas. Yeah, we get a couple road games, and that'll be okay for us too. We'd love to finish up this pre-Christmas schedule strong.
Right. All right, Brad, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Craig.
Merry Christmas to the
Merry
Strands.
Christmas.
All right.
Yes.
Brad Strand, assistant to Matt Johnson on the Otter Boys basketball team. We're going to talk Otter swimming. The Uvis Invitational, Tom Uvis Fergus Falls Swimming Invitational is today. Randy Hansen will be here to talk about it after this timeout. You're listening to the Coaches Show on News Talk 1250 KBRF and through the Fergus Now app.
Portions of today's program may be pre-recorded.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls has a fantastic starting lineup with America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Nelson Auto can help you enjoy your time out on the road. Check out our starting lineup at Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls.
When you face a big decision or have a business problem to solve, you want an experienced banker, someone you know and can trust to help you reach your goals. At American Federal in Fergus Falls, Ag and Business Banker Brian Wing has the knowledge and expertise to help you find the best solution. Expect a full review of your financial and a prompt decision made right here by your local American Federal banker, Brian Wing. American Federal Bank. Member FDIC.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hi, my name is Lori from LB Homes in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. We are growing our talented and dedicated team of LPNs, CNAs, and RNs, and we want to hear from you. Join our team and make a difference in the lives of our residents every day. To explore or apply, visit lbhomes.org/careers or call Heather at 218-998-1400. LB Homes, caring for you wherever you call home.
Quality Toyota is proud to salute the achievements of each quality player. It takes teamwork to compete, and the Quality Player Award recognizes the extra effort by an individual in each athletic contest. Quality Toyota commends the hard work, dedication, and quality efforts of these outstanding youth. That attitude will help each quality player as they go forward. Congratulations to each of the quality players from Quality Toyota on West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
Welcome back to the program. We're talking Otter, Tom Uvis Invitational. Randy Hansen's here to talk about what the Otter swimmers are hosting today. And I know we talked a little bit last week about this, Randy, but for the folks that missed that, tell us who's coming in team-wise for this invitation. You'll get a few teams that haven't been here before.
Yeah, we've kind of had the same group for the number of years, and it's been, a fairly you never want to say easy, but it hasn't been super difficult competition, so, Perm and DL are one team, so we lost a team there, and then Thief River Falls, who always came, doesn't have a program anymore, so we lost a team there, and so I reached out and tried to find some other teams to kind of come with, and we kind of have a long relationship with Bemidji, and so they were excited to come down. And then my nephew, who's the same age as my son, Reese, swims for Princeton, and so I reached out to their coach. So Princeton's coming, and they've got a nice team about the same size as us. And then Montevideo is also going to come up, and they had some really good swimmers last year, and they've got some of those guys returning. So it's going to be, the competition's going to be really good, and maybe a little bit more than what we really need this time of year. But I guess you can never say no. It's going to be a good day in the pool.
What do spectators, fans need to know about the meet, the schedule? What's going on for them?
Yeah, well, it's free because of Minnesota Motors Day, so there's that.
Right.
So that's the nice. So it's going to be a packed house. So diving starts warming up here. I'm gonna get over there and get the teams going. That's 9:30, and the diving competition's at 11. We don't have any divers. Fergus doesn't, but there's 11 divers that are diving. I'm going to try to get it done in an hour, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. If everything goes to plan, the swimming competition will start about 1 o'clock. So probably a little bit later than that, but 1 o'clock is the goal.
So you've been practicing for 2 weeks now.
Yep.
You ready for a meet?
No.
Why did I know that was coming?
But at some point you got to get going. There's actually teams that had meets on Thursday. So Morris and Montevideo actually swam each other on Thursday. Princeton had a meet with another team on Thursday. I'm not sure if Bemidji did or anybody else, but we were supposed to go to St. Cloud Tech, but that got moved to January. So teams are in there going already. But at some point, you just got to kind of get in there and see what you got. And so this has always been such a nice meet for us to start out with because, number one, it's home, but number two, it's got some other events for some of the younger guys who aren't quite strong enough to do some of the other events. And it's just kind of a fun invite to kick things off. Yeah.
Well, and you've got guys who have state experience from last year, had great years for you coming back, leading this team. I'm sure they just can't wait to get the season rolling competition-wise. Why don't you kind of introduce us to your lineup as far as the opening day lineup goes and tell us who's swimming what?
Yeah, I kind of let the guys what would you like to swim individually? And I kind of get to do the relays and I get to kind of finagle things. I always tell them I have veto power over whatever they choose. So, but for the most part, they got to pick what they wanted to do for some individual events, and that's perfectly fine. And so our relays are never, ever locked in, especially this early. So, we're going to move people around and experiment and see what happens. So, our top relay is basically the same group as last year, except Logan Rott graduated. So Reese will be backstroke, Ethan Sarandi breaststroke, and then we're going to put Lucas Toole in. He's really grown a lot. He's only an 8th grader. So he's grown physically. He's been swimming forever, so he has experience, but he's going to be jacked and ready to go for that. And we're going to need him, and he's going to have to he's going to have to go like he's never gone before in that relay. So he'll step up as best he can. So that'll be good. And then Jaden Kopinski's going to finish it off in the freestyle. So we were doing exchanges yesterday in practice. They looked pretty good. So I'm pretty excited to see what that and the seeds coming into this. There's going to be some good competition in that race. So that's going to be a fun way to go with the first event. Yeah.
Do you actually get to use like 3 relays in the meet today?
Well, we can use as many as we want.
Oh, okay.
So we actually have 4 medley relays.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So
okay.
and so it's unlimited relays, and there's a limit on how many of them are going to score, but that's
Sure.
neither here nor there. But it's unlimited everything. So I've got like 15 kids in the backstroke practically. So it's great. That's not normal for normal meets. So it's nice to be able to get everybody into things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Keeps their interest going, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, and then the 200 free, we got Landon and Matthew are going to be our 2 rocks for that. And, Matthew's got some pretty lofty goals with that, and that's going to be some good racing for him today. There's a Montevideo kid that's already gone below 2 minutes, so that's going to be a great race. And he's got Landon and Matthew on either side of him, so that'll be fun to watch. And Landon is, the 200 is really one he really wants to work on, but he kind of wants to get away from that 500 a little bit. So we're going to be in the market for some 500 people. So I don't think there's a transfer portal for 500 swimmers, but we'll see. But anyway, but we'll try and convince some people to swim it. But and then it seems like everybody on our team really wants to swim the IM this year so far. So I was kind of surprised, and Ethan Strandy's, all of his strokes that were, a couple of them that were a little suspect last year really look good so far this year. We're pretty excited to see what that's going to look like. And Lucas Toole was a placer in sections last year, so that'll be nice to see. And Reese is going to swim it mostly because his cousin is swimming it it's together, so they're going to go head to head. So that'll be kind of fun to see. I don't know that Reese is going to be a 200 IMer for the rest of the season, but it'll be fun to watch today. Watch those two go head to head in the pool. So that'll be fun.
Well, that event, I think through the years that I've been here, and it's been since 1981, and Lindig and Uvis and Joyce Monk and Phil Link,
Right.
and it seems like every year, no matter what, the Otters have a lot of kids that can swim the IM and swim it well. Is that a real point of emphasis when the kids are young to get them to get comfortable with all the strokes?
Yeah, we tell the guys that, anybody can swim freestyle,
Right.
really, but it's, can you develop those other strokes? Can you find a niche? Like if you become a butterflyer, we've got plenty of spaces for that for you. So as you develop those other strokes, and all of a sudden your IM kind of comes together. But it's probably, the 500 is the longest, but the 200 IM is the most brutal, I think, just because it's so different and you're just so exhausted and and you got to go fast. So it's a hard race. I think that's the hardest one out of all of them. So, I don't know that we emphasize it, but we really try to take time to do different strokes. And so, because we're trying to just develop, sometimes it just clicks that,
Right.
Oh man, that's how breaststroke works, and all of a sudden, guess what? I'm really good at breaststroke. So you just never know if all you do is freestyle. So you really do try to push those different things as best you can.
Fun event to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 50 free, Jaden Kapinski and Gabe Carlson are going to be our two top 50 freestylers, so that'll be fun to watch. So I think Jaden's gonna make some waves in the freestyle this year, so I'm excited to watch that. And Gabe is really, again, just growing physically and just confidence wise and experience wise, and he's only a sophomore, so that'll be fun to see what he can do with that. We don't really have a lot of butterflyers this day. Lucas Toole is going to do the 100. That's it. I think Reese will typically be doing that in other races, but we're always, maybe we transfer portal for butterflyers
There
too,
you
so
go.
who knows? But and then the 100 freestyle is, a lot of teams doesn't look like they put a lot of their good guys in that. So Landon Vadava's got the top time in the 100 freestyle coming in, and he'll have some people pushing him, but he should cruise to a pretty good win there. All the other seed times are pretty far back from him, so but it'll be fun to see him race that and not the 500. So that'll be really good. And then the 500, Matthew's going to do that. He's got some pretty lofty goals. He just barely missed cracking 5 minutes last year, and I know that he's just chomping at it. And that school record is within reach, for him at some point. Probably not today, but at some point. And then Sam Rasmussen, who's a sophomore, is kind of took to that 500 because, hey, here's a spot for me, and I kind of like it. And so we're, he's still a young swimmer and still growing, and so we're working on a lot of things with him with that. But it's nice that he isn't afraid of the challenge. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, coaches love it when someone steps up in a not so popular event.
You're right. I'll do it, Coach.
Wants to do it.
Yeah. And then the 200 free relay, that's we tried to stack that one pretty good. We lost Adrian Blondeau and last year, and Logan Rott with that. So here we've got Landon Vadava, who's just been a rock off the blocks for us. So he'll lead it off to Gabe Carlson, to Ethan Strandy, to Matthew Toole. And Matthew was the anchor on that last year as well, coming off the 500. So that should be a pretty salty relay too. So that'll be some really nice competition. 50 backstroke, we got a lot of our younger guys, and then the 100 backstroke, seems like we got everybody going. But Reese and Gabe Carlson will be in that. And Blake Swenson from DL is, he placed in state last year. And he's coming back, and he'll be tough, and that'll be a really great race, and really tell Reese where he's at this point in the year. So I know he's got some pretty lofty goals too. So which is great. These guys they've been to the big show. They've got they can see what it is and see what it takes to get there, and now they're like, okay, I need to do this in practice, and so they kind of know what it takes to achieve those times.
Well, and just believing you belong there. Right. They figured that out last year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You don't go down to state and place by accident, right?
No,
so,
right.
Yeah, and then breaststroke, we Ethan Strandy's our top breaststroker, so he's going to be right in there as well. There's some really good breaststroker races, and it's just going to be a really good competition up and down the block here. And then our last relay is the same. I call them, they're our usual suspects. So it's Landon will be leading off to Matthew, to Reese, to Jaden Kopinski. So and that the school record for that is not going to happen today, but that's not out of the question in the next year or two either. And so we kind of broke that down, like, all right, boys, you want to swim, you want to break that? It takes an average of this time, and that's on our board. So every time, when they're getting done, swimming a freestyle set, and they can look up, they can always see that little time in there. If you want to break that school record, you got to average that time. And so that's just a driving, in the back of your mind. We're gonna go for that. So
that's one of the great things about your sport. I mean, you've got so many different ways to look at the season and goals, individual goals, team goals, records for certain guys in events and relay teams. There's so many ways you can approach this.
Yeah. And I always tell the guys, like the younger guys, they may not place, they might not get a medal today, they may not, go to state, but it's like, I'm more excited about them if they, get a PR by 4 seconds in their event than some other guys that are constantly winning their event. So it's nice that way. You don't have to worry about getting people off the bench, and this kid didn't play very much. And, it's just, you just get in there and you compete against yourself, compete against the guy next to you, and you better your time, and that's a win for you. So it's awesome.
You get 1/10 of a second better than last time.
That's a PR.
You betcha,
Sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what's up after today? What do you have coming up this week?
Yeah, so St. Cloud Apollo comes to town on Thursday, and they're not a real deep team. They've got 2 guys that are really, really, really good, and then a lot of younger guys that aren't real experienced. So I don't know. They had a meet the other day with Alec, so we should do okay in that. But it'll be fun to watch. They're 2 really. I mean, they are really, really good swimmers. So their 200 freestyle went 146, which is absolutely insane this time of year. So. So that'll be fun, and then that's it until the new year. So we'll just Christmas practice and just get in the pool and swim a lot.
That's always fun too, because you have alumni coming around and.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
No.
Swimming is one of those things where you get out of shape fast, and and then I can do this, and then they get in and they practically drown. So it's a little different than picking up a basketball and shooting the hoops a little bit. But yeah, they might come by and say hi, but I don't think too many of them are gonna ever get in the pool.
Okay, the guys who graduated last year might be around.
Yeah, they might just come by and say hi, but I don't see Adrian or Mason or Logan or Will coming and doing some laps with us. No, I don't think so. I'll be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Randy, have a good day today. Thanks very much. Again, diving at 11, and then 1 o'clock for the swimming today at the middle school pool, the Kennedy Secondary School pool with the Otter Tom Uvis Invitational. Aptly named,
right?
By the way.
Yeah, and he'll be there. He texted me the other day. What time does it start? So he's going to be there.
Awesome.
It's good.
It's good.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back. We'll continue. We're going to talk girls basketball. Josh Steer will be here after the break. You're listening to the Coaches Show on News Talk 1250 KBRF and through the Fergus Now app. This holiday season, Minnesota Motor Company has the gifts everyone is going to love. Give a gift of GM floor liners or a complete detail, and you will be gifted a $100 car wash gift card that you can keep for yourself or gift to someone else. Purchase a $100 car wash card and receive a $20 car wash card free. Your holiday shopping is covered. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan. Oh, come on, Ref! That's simple human sense.
Visit the Arneson Agency at their new location, 120 East Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
I get my flu shot because I have asthma, and anyone with an underlying medical condition like me has a much higher risk of getting a really sick flu.
I get my flu shot to protect myself and my mom and dad. Because when you're older, getting the flu can be dangerous, even deadly.
I get my flu shot because it's easy, and I don't want to miss out on all the holiday fun with my friends.
Flu vaccination is recommended for everyone 6 months and older. Schedule yours today and learn more at lung.org.
Quality Toyota is proud to salute the achievements of each quality player. It takes teamwork to compete, and the Quality Player Award recognizes the extra effort by an individual in each athletic contest. Quality Toyota commends the hard work, dedication, and quality efforts of these outstanding youth. That attitude will help each quality player as they go forward. Congratulations to each of the quality players from Quality Toyota on West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
Welcome back to the program. We have Josh Steer joining us, head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. This week, the Otters wound up with a victory over the Lumberjacks, 53-34 in their first game of the week, and then 103-32 against Sauk Rapids Rice on Thursday night. Let's talk Bemidji first there, because you've had some battles with Bemidji over the years, Josh, and you knew they'd be competitive again. But what a good response by your team defensively, especially.
Yeah, when we played them last season twice, I think the margin of victory for us in both of those games, we got them both times. The margin of victory, I think, was maybe it might have been 5 points total between the two wins. So coming into that game was kind of they had everybody back. We had a lot of kids, pretty much everybody back. And so I thought that was kind of a measuring stick of the progress that we've made over the last year. And I was expecting it to be a really tight battle, and it really was. I mean, most of the game, and our defense kind of set the tone early. But it goes to show you that shooting percentage will come and go. That's going to be, sometimes it's going to be better on certain nights, and that's why it's an average, right? But you're going to shoot it really well some nights, and you're not going to shoot it really well some nights. And we did not shoot it very well on Tuesday night, but we still found a way to win because our defense is playing really well.
Well, you had, Bemidji had 1 point in like the first 10 minutes of the game. Your man-to-man defense just totally denied them. They had to be getting pretty flustered and frustrated out there.
Yeah, I thought we did a really nice job. They have a really nice post inside. If she catches it, and if you're playing behind and she catches it, you're going to be in trouble. And our defensive system, we front the post. So we put the post player gets around and sits on the front side of the post, so you can't throw it right into them. And then we have backside help on the backside. And so we executed that really, really well, and they couldn't get what they wanted to. And you throw in some details of throwing some ball pressure out on the perimeter for that guard to, the guard's looking into the post, and they can't see, and they can't get the pass off that they want to because we're putting enough ball pressure on the arc. So there's a lot of factors that go into taking that away, and we executed really, really well to start the game.
Bella Anderson had a real nice floor game for you, 10 points and 6 rebounds and 3 steals, and just a pretty consistent game for Bella. Good to see that.
Yeah, we got her going on a couple of set plays to get her the ball inside. She's so long, and she's almost 6 feet tall, and you throw some long arms on there, and she can really do some damage around the rim, and whether it's on the rebounding side or whether it's on the scoring side, I think she figured some things out on Tuesday night.
And Hattie Fullhart led you with 7 rebounds, according to the stats I got. Anyway, but for Hattie to lead you in rebounds, it just shows everybody on the Otters rebounds, it seems. It doesn't matter if you're a guard or a post, you go and rebound.
Yeah, and that's been a big point of emphasis for us this year is crashing the glass, and Hattie does it on the offensive side. So she'll have 7 rebounds, and 6 of them will be offensive, and that's huge because we actually just talked about this the other day in practice about you don't want to be a selfish basketball player. But if you do ever want to be selfish, you can be selfish on the offensive side when you rebound. Because if you offensive rebound, you can selfishly, you can probably get 4 more points a game on putbacks or going to the free throw line because you're attacking and it's going to help the team. So we talk about maybe on the offensive side when you attack the glass, you can be a little selfish because you want to go get that ball and that ball needs to be yours. And Hattie does a great job of that. Night in and night out, she leads us in the offensive rebounding category.
Yeah, I was listening to the game and listening to Nick Keel, who does the Otter girls for us this year, and Bryn Sternberg was struggling. She wasn't getting her points. Shots weren't dropping for her early, and Nick said that a couple of times, and I was listening, trying to think, boy, she's just not getting going here. And then at the end of the game, she's got 18 points. It's like, wait, huh? How does she get that? I mean, Bryn is going to get her points. Even on nights when it's struggling, she's struggling to get them. She winds up with 18.
Yeah, if there's a quiet 18 out there, she can find it, and she's really good at that. She knocked down a couple of shots late. I think she's figured some things out with her shot. I know her and Coach Sternberg spent one night. I think it was maybe Wednesday night after practice, and they stuck around and I think they fine tuned some things in her shot, and then I've seen a big improvement since then. So Coach Sternberg knows what he's talking about on the offensive side too, not only the defensive side. But maybe it was more of a dad moment, but they figured some things out, and Bryn has the ability to knock down shots. We know that. It's going to come and it's going to continue now. I think she's got it figured out, and it's fun to watch, when we're playing team basketball too. So Bryn's struggling, and all of a sudden Hattie's going to take over a little bit, or Bella's going to take over a little bit, or Ruby's going to take over a little bit, and then we have some pieces that come off the bench. Julia Heidcheck, she's been giving us great minutes off the bench. I think her shooting percentage this year's got to be at least probably 50% or higher. So she's coming in. She's not taking a ton of shots, but the ones she's getting are good ones, and she's knocking them down. Reese Keel's coming in and giving us really good minutes too. And I can't say enough about Carly Hurst and how she plays the game of basketball. And she's just relentless in her effort every night, and it's fun to watch.
Reese and Carly each had 9 for you against Sauk Rapids Rice, and Julia had 6 rebounds. So, yeah, they're producing when they get the minutes. They're out there producing for you. Bryn had 20 over 22 in the first half, so a little different start to that game against Sauk Rapids Rice. But these numbers against the Storm were incredible, Josh. And I think I was thinking, too, I'd love to see your team go in the gym at practice on Monday and recreate the shot chart from that game with no defense and see if they could hit the percentage of shots that they hit in the game, because 67% with defense on you, that's pretty impressive.
That might be a number I never see again, and I've never seen before. It's really impressive. Sometimes when a shooter gets wide open, it's really kind of a hard shot because you're not expecting to be wide open. So sometimes when you get those rhythm shots off the bounce, somebody gives you a pass off the dribble, and you just catch it, and you're in rhythm and you catch it and shoot it. Sometimes you don't get those in practice, and when you get those in a game, they knock them down. And we had kids knocking down shots left and right. It was crazy. It was kind of fun to watch. Elizabeth Clinton hit one, Presley Warren hit one, coming in getting some minutes. So it was like everything we put in the air ended up going through the net, and we ended up having 32 assists in that game.
Wow.
And like we said, a lot of things have to go right for an assist to happen, and you got to knock down the shot. And it was fun to see the girls finding space and finding each other, and Bryn threw a couple of passes early, and found some people kind of deep in transition, like over the top. It was kind of like watching Sam Darnold go to work. And who'd have thought I said that? But
right.
Yeah, so it was really fun to watch, and a lot of girls got involved. And yeah, like you said, an empty gym, a rack of balls. I don't know if we can recreate 67%, but I guess it was our night, and I'm not going to lie to you, we're going to need it tonight, too. We're going to have to continue that against Fargo Davies, because we got a very capable opponent coming in.
Yeah, what's the scouting report on Davies?
Well, they are also, I heard Coach Strand talking about the boys matchup today. The Fargo Davies are also returning state champion, or defending state champions, I should say. They graduated a couple of pieces, and their head coach was the mom of one of those pieces. So they have a new head coach, and they graduated a couple of important pieces, but they also have a couple of important pieces returning. So a couple of girls that played on that state championship team and were big pieces to that. If you come out and watch this afternoon, number 5 and number 2 are really, really good players for them. I don't know how to say number 5. Fallon is her first name. I don't know how to say her last name, number 5. But when you watch her play, if those old Otter faithfuls, she reminds me of kind of a Brie Rasmussen. She's kind of taller, lankier, can get to the rim, but can shoot it too. So does a lot of stuff, kind of sets the table for them. So we're gonna have to be up in her grill a little bit and make her uncomfortable if we can. And then number 2 is a very capable scorer as well. They've only had one game. They played Moorhead. Their season just started, so this is their first week of games. So they played Moorhead on Tuesday, and then they have us today. So not a whole lot of footage out there on them, but we've studied the tape we have.
2:30 start for the varsity, and today, well, it's like I mentioned earlier, the girls play at 2:30, and then the boys have a game at 6 against West Fargo Cheyenne. So, and then the outer Tom Uvis Invitational going on. So there's going to be a lot going on at Kennedy. So
yeah, if you're a sports junkie, it's a great day. Hopefully, maybe they'll have some TVs on at the Bison playing. But
there you go.
But yeah, it's going to be a good game. We would appreciate anybody that wants to come out and watch it at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's not supposed to be too cold, so come drive, and then maybe in between the girls and the boys game, if you got some Christmas shopping to do or whatever, just but come support.
And you don't have to pay for it today.
You don't have to pay for it because Min Motors is going to pay for everybody's ticket. And talk about amazing support that you get from the community. It's outstanding. For them to do that or any business to do that. But yeah, Minnesota Motors. Maybe you want to go car shopping after the girls game before you go to the boys game. I don't know.
And you've got Perham coming in Thursday for your final pre-Christmas game. I know the Yellow Jackets lost Willow Teal to graduation, so that's okay. You don't mind that, but they have a younger sister. I know Cypress on the team. I don't know. I don't think she's quite Willow's ability yet. But what about the Yellow Jackets? What do you know about them?
Yeah, I think they're trying to find their identity a little bit without her. Willow was a huge piece to their offense and their defense, really. But she was a huge piece to their team. She's one of those kids that. Now that she's finally graduated, you're like, wow, she finally graduated.
Right.
Because I feel like I've been coaching against her for 5 years, and I probably have. So that's their leading scorer, their leading rebounder that they have to replace. That's a big piece to do. But they still have some, and they lost a couple of guards too. So they've got Cora Grismer coming back. She's really, really good. Kaya Anderson can shoot it really well from the outside. I think they're trying to figure out how to get those pieces involved a little bit more without having that inside presence. And then unfortunately for them, their backup post, I think it's Kate Diggins. Diggins, I think she had I don't want to say an ACL, but I think she had a season-ending injury this summer. So I think then when you think you have the answer, you don't have the answer anymore. So now it's you're trying to find more of an identity. So I think they're struggling a little bit. But if I know anything, Coach TJ Super will have a really good game plan coming in, and he's going to throw some crazy stuff at us because he always has. He's triangle and two us. He's inverted triangle and two us. He's box and one us. He'll do whatever it takes with whatever he has to find a way to win. So he's well coached. It's a great program. We're going to have to bring our A game. So
he may just have a whole new defense created by him.
He might have invented one. I don't know. He's kind of wild like that. So we're going to have to be ready for anything on that night, and then that'll send us into Christmas break. So we've got Davies tonight, Perham next Thursday, all at home, and then we'll be into the Christmas break with about, 8 games? Is that 8 games?
That's right. Yeah, and then we'll talk about the holiday tournament next week.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
Awesome.
Good luck today.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
Josh Steer, head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. Hockey coming up next. Mike Donahue's here. They play today, too. Got Crookston in town. Mark Johnson will have that one coming up later today on Channel 977 FM at AM 1020 and here streaming live on the Ferguson Now app as well. So don't go away. More to come.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls has a fantastic starting lineup with America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Nelson Auto can help you enjoy your time out on the road. Check out our starting lineup at Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls.
You probably know Leighton Media as the company that's rocked the radio waves for over 60 years. But did you know that we put the same passion and energy into helping businesses with digital marketing? Leighton Engage works with you to implement strategic, targeted digital marketing campaigns with regular check-ins, clear expectations, and results that make sense.
Leighton Engage. Find your focus.
Get in touch today and make sense of digital marketing.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
High quality local embroidery for your community. Running Stitches is the choice for everything, from business logos to team apparel and personal projects. They bring your designs to life. Andrew and Allison Olson from Running Stitches Embroidery are proud supporters of local sports.
Quality Toyota is proud to salute the achievements of each quality player. It takes teamwork to compete, and the Quality Player Award recognizes the extra effort by an individual in each athletic contest. Quality Toyota commends the hard work, dedication, and quality efforts of these outstanding youth. That attitude will help each quality player as they go forward. Congratulations to each of the quality players from Quality Toyota on West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
Aging well means staying healthy, active, and independent. To age well, we need to take care of our bones. 10 million Americans have osteoporosis, a hereditary disease that makes bones weak and more likely to break. Thankfully, we can all take simple steps to improve our bone health at any age. Eat a healthy diet that is rich in calcium and vitamin D. Get regular weight-bearing exercise, which means on our feet. Get bone health tips at pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
Welcome back to the program. Mike Donohue's here, head coach of the Otter boys hockey team, and they've got a game today, too, 2 o'clock against Crookston at the Community Arena, and we'll have it for you on Channel 977 FM, AM 1020, and streaming live here on the Fergus Now app as well, as the Otters take on the Pirates. Otters had a 3-game winning streak, and that was formulated on the road last weekend with Dodge County 6-3 last Friday night, and then a 4-3 win over New Ulm on Saturday. And Mike, let's address that road trip first of all, and that nice winning streak. It was good to win 3 in a row, but to go on the road like that, not easy early in the year, overnight trip, and you must be pretty pleased with the way the guys responded.
Yeah, it was a fun trip, I think, for the guys to be able to get out, get on the bus. It was a long trip. We were able to break it up with a little stop for some food on the way down, and got into Dodge County Friday night, and I think it was 6-3, but we had 2 empty net goals. They scored a late power play goal to bring within 1, and then we were able to cap the game with a couple empty netters, so that changes the score a little bit, but it was a tight fought game. It was a good one for our guys, and then to respond and turn around in less than 24 hours. Busing over to New Ulm with a team there a little bit reloading like us, but being able to get back on that sheet of ice and give the performance that we did was really fun.
Are you kind of settled on your line combinations right now? I know that's always subject to change, but right now, are you pleased with what you're seeing as far as the balance you're getting from your lines?
We were for those 3 games, and then you get an injury to a defenseman, and then you get a couple sick forwards for a week, and we've kind of been depleted this week. And then from Tuesday's game, we suffer another loss. So trying to piece some things back together here and provide some opportunities with guys in some different positions.
What about the injury update? What's the situation?
Today on the back end, we'll be without Brant Schuerman again. He went down in the New Ulm game. Hockey terminology, upper body injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's well on the road to recovery. So we definitely anticipate getting him back on the ice on Monday. In Tuesday's game, we lost Tanner Donahue that night. So he'd been blocking a few shots and took a few in the wrong spot, right in the inside of a foot. So sorry, lower body injury. So he's not feeling very good. So hopefully that's been having that checked out, and who the timeline on that is to be determined. So when we lose 2 of our 4 defensemen, couple forwards up front 6. So today we're just kind of got to practice together yesterday and got some guys into some positions and spots, and some guys in different spots, and give them credit. We tried to move some guys from wings to centers, different things, and they're like, this just isn't going to work, coach. So after practice, we adjusted some things again, but put your best foot forward. We know what these guys are capable of doing. They showed us through a 3-game winning streak on how they can play when they commit to our systems and commit to the details.
That game against New Ulm, Holden Stenstrom had a strong night in goal for you. And how has that been going for Holden, taking on that number 1 job night in and night out?
Yeah, he's definitely showing growth. The guys in front of him are showing growth. He's fighting to see pucks. feel he's controlling some rebounds, steering pucks where we need to be able to put them into a safe area. And then the other end where we've been working hard with our D on our D zone coverage, or getting our guys into our right spots. When I think back to even defensively, Brock Schuerman has had experience. He played a lot of minutes back there. Other than that, coming in, Brant played junior varsity hockey last year for us. Tanner played Bantam hockey. Between Michael Schmidt and Jack Weldy, we've rotated those guys back there, and they've been forwards. They've played some D, but as far as just a lot of D-specific skills and things to focus on in our end, we haven't spent a lot of time coaching and teaching with them. And even though they're seniors and they're captains, there's still a lot of details to the game that I was reminded as a coach this one. I'm like, they've played hockey, but teaching the systems and what we need to do to make those little plays and the small plays in the corners and different things. It's different teaching those than just going out and playing the game.
Yeah, there's some subtle adjustments that have to be made from position to position out there. And when you're going from attacking forward to a defenseman, there's some changes there and vice versa. So, yeah, learning curve. Who's scoring the goals for you? You got a lot of guys who have been involved in the scoring, setting up goals, scoring goals. Michael Schmidt, you mentioned. Jack Weldy's been scoring some. Aiden Shakey said you get a shorthanded one for you last week, I know. And are you getting good scoring opportunities resulting in those goals?
Yeah, absolutely. Aiden's been just, I think, a catalyst for us this year. He had a great soccer season for Joel Heikus, and then he just brings that energy and just a great attitude every single day. And we try to tell the guys, watch Aiden, watch how he works. It's every drill, it's every practice. His feet are going. He brings energy, he brings excitement. He loves being on the ice and playing the game. And when you bring that kind of thing to the rink, success just follows. And then hopefully that energy can be contagious. So, he's definitely been one that's really elevated, since our first game of the year. Kind of took that role onto his shoulders and accepted it, and playing him with Michael. Michael's such a good playmaker. Adam Kennedy is starting to find the back of the net for us, and that's something that we've been working with him on, is just when he plays a good, consistent, hard game, he's so big and strong that teams have a hard time containing him when he plays that way, and that's something that it's just a consistency. So we just need him to go, and when we had those three together, that was that line was hard to stop. We had them going, they were rolling. We were able to match them against a team's top line. They're older guys, and that's allowed us to free up our next unit. We've been going with Caden Zender, who's a sophomore, and Luke Johnson, a freshman, and Hunter Welly, a sophomore. So we're able to, I think, get a better matchup for those guys where they can find the success and confidence that they need.
Baptism under fire here. You get those young guys out there at the varsity level, especially in this conference, Central Lakes Conference. You've got some older guys usually skating for the opposing side. We saw a good Sauk Rapids Rice team in here the other night. They got you a 6-1 to snap that 3-game winning streak. But were they kind of a team that just kept coming at you? They had solid line play throughout the night, it seemed.
They were just really opportunistic. We battled back. It's 3-1. We have a 5-minute 5-on-3, and we just couldn't capitalize on that. And that's kind of the difference in the hockey game that night. If we could have popped one there, make it 3-2, you hope to get one. Yeah, the grand picture is let's get two, but if you can get one and make that 3-2 going in the third period, you feel pretty good where you're at. And they had a super aggressive kill. You give them credit for it. Just a little more unusual than you expect for 5-on-3, and they got after it. We had a couple of good looks, but their goaltender was their best penalty killer once again on that. And we came out and mishandled the puck that we tried to chip and get deep in that first shift of the third period and turn it over. And you give them credit. It's a 2-on-1 coming the other way, and they find the back of the net with it. We had a lot of scoring opportunities, a lot of chances in that game. It might not look like it with one goal. They only outshot us by 4 or 5, and typically a 6-1 game, shots are really lopsided, or you feel the play is really lopsided. So we just had to find a way to finish, and anytime we had an opportunity, their goaltender made a great save. We missed a net. And that's the nature. That's why the game can look probably a little more ugly than it is. If it's 3-1 or 3-2, we've got some energy. We just couldn't find a way to muster to get it going, and they just took advantage and scored on their chances, and we didn't.
That 5-on-3 you're referring to and how aggressive they were on that. It's a little easier to be aggressive when you have a 3-1 lead in that situation, right? I mean, put a little pressure on the team that's trying to come back, and if they get one, well, you still got the lead. Now you can be a little more cautious.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's a complete momentum builder. If you have the 3 and you're able to kill that for a full 2 minutes, it gives your team a lot of life and a lot of belief in there for the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that loss will send you into your next game today against Crookston. What do the Pirates bring?
Yeah, I haven't done much looking. I've been so scrambling with guys at practice, guys not at practice. What are we going to do for lineups? And, I think it's back to we got to figure some things out today to get back to details, trying to play hard, try to play the right way, and take advantage of our opportunities. I know that I think Crookston has one loss, one tied a good Detroit Lakes team. They tied them 4-4. They've shown that they can score goals. So everything else doesn't matter to the sports. You can talk to Matt, you can talk to Josh, you can talk to Tim. Everything starts with defense. So it's a matter of how can we start in our end and work out from there.
And that's 2:00 varsity start today at the arena. So get over and take in the action. It's going to be a busy place in that neck of the woods today. Lots of basketball, swimming, hockey.
Yeah, and then Bantam A tournament being hosted over there this weekend too.
That's
so
right.
It's a busy part of the city.
Oh man, no shortage of stuff to do, huh? That's for sure. And we mentioned it earlier. Minnesota Motors paying for the entry to the games, the varsity games today, and high school games. So that'll be good too.
People have a good day in Fergus Falls. To be able to wander back and forth and stay up to speed with all the activities.
And if you got up this morning saying, "Oh, there's nothing to do today," take another look. Right.
Tune in.
I'm glad you got your medical degree too, because this has been a tough start for you, and you just hope, that things turn around. Maybe you're getting all this behind you in December, right?
Yeah, we hope so. It's just kind of some fluky things and things we got to battle and fight through, and every team goes through it. You have those adverse situations and how you're going to rise above it and create some opportunities for guys that, you talk with as a coaching staff and, should this guy be in there? Do we want to give this guy an opportunity? And here it is. It's right at their fingertips for them.
Right. Well, maybe after Thursday you can get a little bit of a respite there before the holiday tournament kicks in, right? Because that'll be a challenge too with 3 games in 3 days.
Yeah, it'll be a good little stretch here. You play today and get 3 days off and hopefully, or 3 days of practice, I should say. Sunday off, get those guys healthy, and then 1 game, and then hopefully we'll be ready to go for a holiday tournament, which will be fun 3 days, December 26th, 27th, and 28th, that we're able to host.
We'll focus on that next week, okay, on the show.
All right, thanks, Craig.
Good luck today, Mike. Thank you. Mike Donahue, head coach of the Otter Boys hockey team, and we'll continue. We're going to talk Hillcrest girls basketball with Hannah Clark after the break here on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live through the Fergus Now app.
Savor the season with holiday eating tips and delightful kitchen gift ideas. Find them all at unveiledlocal.com. Master the art of making pie. Become a mixologist with festive holiday cocktail and mocktail recipes. Discover elegant appetizers and fun New Year's Eve party bites. This and more at unveiledlocal.com. Unveiled Local is dedicated to sparking a love for culinary arts and inspiring you to have fun in the kitchen. Make this holiday season delicious. Visit unveiledlocal.com. That's unveiledlocal.com.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Peterson with West Central Initiative. As the holidays draw near, you may be wondering how you can give a gift that makes a difference in your community. West Central Initiative is here to help. We have strong ties to hundreds of local nonprofits in our region's 82 communities. Whether it's education, children, the arts, or other causes close to your heart, we can help you find the most impactful home for your donation. So give us a call at West Central Initiative at 218-739-2239 to start a ripple of good in your community with the perfect gift.
Now at your Napa store, get an instant $10 rebate on a pair of Napa Exact Fit wiper blades. Save 25% on hip receivers and brake controllers. And save up to 38% on winter products like starting fluid, ice melt, power service, and more. Napa Synthetic 5-quart jugs of oil, $20.49. Shop online and pick up in the store in 30 minutes. Shop Napa in Pelican Rapids, Wapaton, and Fergus Falls.
Never know how.
The Friends and Family Sale is going on now at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. All 2024 vehicles in stock are listed at their lowest prices of the year. Save big on Chevrolet vehicles like Silverado trucks, Suburbans, Tahoes, and more. It is the perfect time to treat yourself to a new ride. Contact the sales team at Minnesota Motor Company for details. Together, let's drive. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Hello, it's Chris Cannon, Executive Director of the Humane Society of Otter Tail County. This holiday season, don't forget about our furry friends. Your donation can make a world of difference to the Humane Society. I'm excited to share our story and invite you to join our mission. Visit humanesocietyotc.org to contribute. Together, let's ensure every tail wags with joy or meows with delight this holiday. Your generosity makes a lasting impact. Thank you. And we all look forward to meeting you.
Grant County. Your news leader is News Talk 1250 AM KBRF Fergus Falls. Depend on it.
And welcome back. I'm going to have to talk to Dave now. We should get some Christmas bumpers in here during the Christmas season. Another thing to do, Dave. He's like, what? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm in the mood for Christmas. Hannah Clark is here, too, and I know Hannah's in the mood. You're a Christmas girl.
Yes, we love it. Our kids love it. And so this whole month has been pretty exciting for us.
I'm sure. And, oh, yeah. And your kids are at that age where Christmas is, oh, yeah, it's big stuff here.
Yes.
But it comes right in the heart of the basketball season. So it has to take a back seat kind of at certain days of the week anyway. And the Comets, you're off to a great start, have just had the way you want to start a season, undefeated. I mean, 5 in a row. Which is good. But I want to talk about your Hancock game, because that was a huge win for you. A lot of people, you look at the schedule and just say, oh, that's a key game. And to beat Hancock the way you did with the contributions you had up and down your lineup, I think that really was a test that you guys passed.
Yes, it was just a great game. It was back and forth all night. They've got a great team. They've got a great coach. They've got one of the best players in our conference, in our section, and Caitlin Roloff. And our girls just did a phenomenal job sticking to our game plan, and then knocked down some big shots in towards the end of the game. We had contributions from everyone, which was so much fun. And I think when you're able to have a balanced scoring attack like that, it just goes to show how much they love to play team ball together. And it just shows how anyone can come out on any given night. So we can be tough to guard at times.
Well, and you have to have that confidence in a game like this at crunch time. You have a younger team that doesn't have the experience and maybe thinks, oh, this is going to be hard to beat this team at the end. But your girls have the confidence to know that, hey, we can go out and take this thing.
Yes, we kind of joke between our coaches and our team that we are young, and sometimes with that youngness comes a little bit of, they've got no idea. They're just out there to play basketball. Doesn't matter if they're going up against the number one team in the state or the very last team in the state. They just love to play and compete. And so in their mind, it doesn't matter who they're up against. They're just going to go out and play hard.
What's the deal with the steals here? I mean, you are just getting tons of steals.
Yes, this has been a point of emphasis for us this year. We worked a lot on it this summer in our zone press, and our girls love it. They're active, they're long, they're athletic, and it's one of their favorite parts of the game. The fun part for us, maybe the scary part for opponents, is we're nowhere near perfect with it. We've got so many areas to improve with our press, and so we just continue to spend time on it every day in practice, and we continue to see improvements in every game. So it's fun. I'm excited to see, midway through the season and towards the end of the season what it looks like.
Well, it's definitely a high risk, high reward type of a thing, and as long as the rewards are coming, it pays off.
Yes.
But you're going to have some times where it doesn't work.
Yep, and we tell our girls, there's going to be times where they get wide open layups. We're going to give up those layups, but it's something that we're willing to risk if we're able to get more out of it than we give up. One of the things when we played Hancock, our first half, we weren't getting much out of it. Hancock was handling it well, and our girls were saying, maybe we should get out of it. We're not getting anything out of it. And as a coaching staff, we said, yes, but look how tired Hancock is getting. They're not able to get into their offense. They're not able to get into the flow on offense, and it really paid off towards the end of the game. I thought Hancock looked gassed, and that was largely due to our press. We didn't get a ton of steals out of it, but I think it really, really did us good to stick with it. So telling the girls that, yes, getting all the steals is fun, but there's also some different reasons why we're going to run it, and it may be different against each team. But man, they've sure bought in, and it's been fun.
As far as the stamina of your team in games like that, has your bench strength, really proven to be a help there?
Yes, we're much deeper than we've been in the past, and it's been one where we put in our bench girls, and the level of play doesn't drop. Avea Stender comes in, and she's gotten so strong and so confident over the summer that she comes in, and she's just such an asset. Elin Retzloff comes in, and boy, does she go. She's so strong, so physical, and she just has this edge to her. And so it's been fun to watch those two girls going. Stella Moline comes in, and she is almost good every game for 1 or 2 corner threes. She gets the ball and she gets a shot up, it's going in. So she just comes in and gives us that spark that way, and it's just great to know that we can go to our bench so our girls can keep fresh legs.
In your win against Brandon Evansville earlier this week, you had 5 girls in double figures, and you had a 30-point lead at halftime, which enabled, I'm sure, a lot of girls to get a lot of minutes off the bench for you as well.
Yep, we had a large lead at half. I will say it didn't feel like that big of a lead. Brandon they play aggressive. They continue to compete and take it at you. A large factor in that game was our press. I think we forced 38 turnovers, which just really got us going. We got easy, high percentage shots in transition, and Brandon wasn't able to get any real easy looks. But yeah, our girls, they love to share the ball. Once again, like you said, multiple people in double figures, and getting our bench experience. We were able to get everyone in before the end of the game, and it's just fun to see.
Yeah, just looking at the balance, Elin had 17 for you, but the thing that impresses me is that's not all she had. She had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 steals, and then Elsa, 15.6 steals. Ella Knutson, 13.6 assists, 7 steals, and Kate Olstead, 11.7 rebounds. This is my stuff in the stat sheet stuff. I love that when kids, they don't only just score for you or just rebound for you. They're filling a lot of categories.
Yep, and we have so many girls who do so much for us. Another one that maybe doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but man, Ruby Peterson has been playing so well for us. She's been scoring for us, been getting steals, been getting assists, but at the same time, she just controls the tempo of our team. She gets us going on both ends of the floor. She's been doing such a good job dictating our offense and knowing whether, she should take a 3, she should look to attack, she needs to get her teammates involved and get them open shots. She's one that is maybe a little bit hidden in all of those stats, but boy, I think she is such a key part of our team this year, and she's been playing so well.
I think Ruby she doesn't get the headlines, but she's the glue. I mean, she's the one that makes you go.
She really is, and when she's going, we're all going. And we haven't shot the ball extremely well from the outside this year, and we're just waiting for that game. Ruby had a couple games last year where she had 7, 8 threes to end the season, and so we just continue to tell them to shoot. They're going to come. But one thing I think is so impressive with her is last year, if she'd miss a couple of threes, she would just stop shooting. And this year, if she misses a couple threes, she started to attack the hoop more, and she's got a beautiful pull-up jumper. So just seeing her decision-making and her confidence has been so good to see. I think she knows it's her senior year, and she wants to leave it all out there, and she's just playing so well for us.
Yeah, you've got a lot of girls that can hit the 3, but are you pleased with the way you are attacking the basket and trying to, make things happen on the drive?
Yes, I think we're averaging around 75 points a game, and right now we're only averaging about 2 or 3 threes a game.
Okay.
So we're finding other ways to score, which is nice, that's been a big focus for us, is when we're not shooting well, we've got to find other ways to score. We know there's going to be a game that's going to come where everyone's on fire and we're all hitting from the outside, but we've got to make sure that we know how to score when it's not falling from the three-point line.
So is the mid-range jumper coming back here, Hannah, at all, or is it all threes and driving?
We made that a focus, that we've got girls who can shoot and get to the hoop, but people are going going to be focusing on that. So, Elsa's really worked on that pull-up jumper, and it's looking good for her. Same with Ruby. And then Kate Olstead, she finds a way. Has such a nice touch around the basket, that short corner elbow jumper. And a lot of times if, Elsa, Ruby, Ella, Elin are attacking the hoop, they're going to have multiple defenders closing in on them. And we've got people like Kate and Stella who are just ready to catch and shoot, and they've been so important to us.
That's fun. I like to see that become a weapon again. You go to Wheaton Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So
yep. That'll be Julia Schmidt has been playing really well. Last year she struggled with some injuries, and so she wasn't 100%. So we're going to have to make sure we keep track of her. We can't let her get hot from the outside. And she's just so strong and such a good athlete. Carly Schultz has been shooting really well from the outside too, so we're going to have to make sure to contain shooters and make sure that we don't lose them. And then also another focus is really protecting the paint, containing a drive and not letting them get easy looks that way.
I don't know what their defensive strength is, or do they use a lot of zone? Are they man-to-man?
I've seen a couple games and they've played man, so that's kind of what we're probably going to see on Tuesday. And we're just going to have to continue to look. I think we have a little bit of a size advantage there, so we'll have to use that. But if we just come out and play hard and play our game, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, you're a tough matchup for anybody, I think, right now. Friday and Saturday, you're going to East Grand Forks Sacred Heart for a holiday tournament.
Yes, and we've been going there now for I think this will be our 4th year. Just a wonderful tournament. And we love going up there. Every family comes up and we've got the team, we've got all of our kids there as well. But Sacred Heart's a great team. They've got some great players. They've got a great post player in Lexi Lawrence. Last year they got us by, I think it was like 4 or 5 points. And we want to get back and show them that we didn't play our best game. We didn't have Kate Olstead with us last year. She was home for Christmas since she's a dorm girl, so it'd be nice to have her. And then the other side of the bracket, it's Roseau, a two-way school, and then Kitson County Central, who's ranked 6th in the state right now. So it'll be a good tournament for us, good competition, and it'll just be a good place to see where we're at.
Any more Borovich girls up there in Roseau?
No, thank goodness.
All right. Very good, Hannah. Thank you for coming in, talking about your 5-0 Comets. Have a great week.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Merry Christmas to the Clarks. Hannah Clark, head coach of the Comet girls basketball team. We're going to talk Otter girls hockey with Tim Lill on the other side of the break here on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live through the Fergus Now app.
Portions of today's program may be pre-recorded.
This holiday season, Minnesota Motor Company has the gifts everyone is going to love. Give the gift of GM floor liners or a complete detail, and you will be gifted a $100 car wash gift card that you can keep for yourself or gift to someone else. Purchase a $100 car wash card and receive a $20 car wash card free. Your holiday shopping is covered. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
High-quality local embroidery for your community. Running Stitches is the choice for everything, from business logos to team apparel and personal projects. They bring your designs to life. Andrew and Allison Olson from Running Stitches Embroidery are proud supporters of local sports.
Service Food is all about service. Service to our valued customers and service to our wonderful community. This is your store, Fergus Falls, a place where you run into neighbors and friends, and where our amazing staff still say things like, "How's your day?" or "Can I help you to your car?" We started in Fergus Falls in 1938 and are still here today because of you. And it's for that reason we proudly support local events, organizations, and our community. Family owned and community focused. We're Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Hailstorms can cause widespread damage to one's home. After these storms, dishonest contractors show up, hoping to make a quick buck from your insurance claim. They'll promise anything if they can get you to sign a contract, collect your payment in advance, and ultimately do no work at all. Avoid being the victim of contractor fraud. Get estimates from at least 3 contractors. Check references, and remember, if you didn't request it, reject it.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
At Wheelchairs for Warriors, serving America's heroes is our mission. With your support, we serve veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty across the United States of America, providing them custom-fit, complex rehab mobility solutions to ensure they rejoin their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. Join the mission. at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Welcome back. Our Coaches Show. We have one more show next week before we get a 2-week break over the holidays and then back after the first of the year. But Tim Lill is with us, the head coach of the Otter girls hockey team, and they had a good week, winning 2-0 on, was that Tuesday night? I told Tim it seemed like that was a month ago, but that was in Sartell, and then beat Brainerd Little Falls 3-1 on Thursday night. I just want to start there, Tim, because you mentioned it, and we talked about it a little bit last week. This is your 11th year coaching. You never beaten Brainerd Little Falls until Thursday night. How good did that feel?
Well, it's nice to get that one off your back, but, they've always had such a good girls program, and, boys too.
Right.
And we've come close. I mean, they used to beat us by 6-8 goals all the time, but, we've been inching our way closer and some overtime games and overtime losses. So, yeah, to finally get that one, I think the girls played really well, and it was nice.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Just had to get your initial reaction to beating them because, like you said, it's one of those programs that just has been so productive and so good through the years. But you were on the road in Sartell on Tuesday night. Olivia Juergens got her first varsity start, and she still hasn't allowed a goal. That's a nice debut.
Looks like a great move by me, doesn't it?
It sure does.
No, she. You know what? I don't look at her as a backup. She's hungry for the net too, and you need that competition. Mia got the first whatever it was 5-6 games. I don't know how many we played, but you got to put the other one in there. Because you don't know when you're going to need. Kids drop off all the time with illnesses and injuries, and she's been working hard in practice, and we got to give her first start, and I think she was fine with it. I think between parents and coaches and everybody else was more nervous for her, and she was as cool as a cucumber, and we outshot them by quite a bit, but had a hard time scoring goals. But towards the end of that game, she had a huge third period, 5-6 huge saves for us. So it was good to see her get that shutout and secure the win.
I don't know if it's true in hockey or not. I've never been a goalie, but I would think when the other goalie is kind of really turning in a great performance, you feel like, hey, I got to match her, and then you play, up to that level also.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. They take care of the net. I got enough worries. Whatever goalies think, just keep the puck out of the net. That's why it's so nice to have Casa. She deals with all that stuff, and I take care of my forwards, and Herscher's got the defense, and whatever the goalies are thinking, I don't know.
I heard a head coach say once that the goalie's job is the easiest on the ice. You just have to stop the puck.
Just stop the puck. That's all I've ever said, and every time I say it, Casa shakes her head at me, and I just skate away. Yep.
Well, it was a great debut for Olivia, and the Otters got the 2-0 win. Now that game was scoreless into the second period. Then you got both of your goals in the second from Maggie Grinigal scored, and then Avery Tonneson scored for you. Maggie's starting to find the net for you.
New stick. She broke her stick in practice. She wasn't too happy about it, but she made her dad get a new one, and it turns out the old one was rotten because she's on a streak now. So I don't know if all the kids are going to do that. Could be expensive for their parents, but yeah, she's on a streak. I knew they were going to start going in, and she's so poised and smart with the puck, and she came and used a great screen, and I think that's the one where we were. It was a long time ago.
It was,
but. Yeah, we worked a lot in practice on screens, not just standing there either, actually screening and getting rebounds. And she found the back of the net. That was a lot of fun.
Maddie Brimhall assisted on it. Maddie has really been compiling the points for you. She's had multiple goal games, multiple point games almost every time out.
Yeah, and I expect it because she's that talented. What I'm impressed with is this week she was great in all three zones, and back check and center support. That's a lot of work for those centers, and she's doing a great job with that. She had some back checks that, the girl might have had 15 feet on her, and she catches her in one zone because she's such a good skater. So that's the stuff I recognize and appreciate. You are the guys that love the stats.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever, it works for me.
Well, that's why I always ask for coaches' comments on the stories, because I can report the scoring, but you see the insight. You got the insight, so that's what I appreciate from you guys. So.
Well, good.
Yeah, Avery Tonneson got your other goal. Kinsey Zender and Hannah Johnson assisted. Avery has really developed into an offensive asset for you.
Yep, she got a scrappy one down there. That also came from a low shot from DeBrito, right in front of the net, and we had 2, maybe 3 kids in there whacking away at it, and it finally squirted out, and Tani put it away. Any one of those kids could have scored that goal, and of course the goalie was whining about interference, but that's where you score goals, and natural goal scorers somehow it finds their stick, and that's what she's really becoming. So it's good for her.
Sounds like these girls are going to buy into this screening game that you're doing.
Well, I hope so. No guarantees.
No.
You never know. Every week's something new. But if we got to be consistent.
Hannah Johnson got an assist on that goal, and I know Hannah scored a goal against, or set up Avery on another goal against Brainerd for you. It seems like Hannah, she must have you've played 10 games. She must have like a 10-game point streak going, because she gets at least 1 point a game, it seems.
Yeah, check that. She's consistent.
Yeah.
Every single shift. She goes, she's most effective on the forecheck, and she finds a way to get a stick in front of everything and causes turnovers. And just like this shorthanded one, strictly out of hustle and a good stick, she gets the puck down the ice, and then she's smart enough to find Tonneson over in the slot, and another shorthanded goal, which proved to be a real big one.
Yeah, absolutely. And that win over Brainerd Little Falls, the shots were pretty even there. Mia Olson was back in net for you that night, only gave up the 1 goal. What's Mia's strength been in the net?
She's just really, really concentrated, very competitive. She can let a goal in and let it bother her for 3 days. Not necessarily at that point, but she always wants it back. From what I gather, her compete has really, really increased this year as she grows up mentally too. And we took 5 penalties in the second period. We took 3, and they were giving us 2 more, but I'm not whining about the refs. Anyways. So we were shorthanded. It felt like the whole period in 5-on-3s, and you can only do so much and get in the way, so many times before they get these awesome grade A chances. And Mia showed up, and she was huge in the second and the third as well.
Your penalty kill has been not only killing penalties, but scoring on the penalty kill. So you've got to be really pleased with that. It must feel like when you're the opposing team, maybe we should decline the penalty.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny that you can set up these penalty or power play breakouts, and they look really good on paper until you have a couple of forecheckers, penalty killers out there getting in the way all the time, and it just dismantles it, and they try to figure out where they're supposed to be. And Coach, you said I was supposed to be on the boards, and it doesn't always work out that way. And our killers right now are just flying all over the ice, and wrecking those cross ice passes, picking them off, and then and getting chories. And if they do gain the zone on us, the same thing is we're just constant pressure, and that takes a lot of work. So you need to have I have 6-7 kids I can put out there on the kill, and I ask for give me 30-40 seconds as hard as you can. If you're not dead tired when you come back, you did it wrong. So these kids are working really hard.
You're reading my mind, because I was going to ask you, what's the ideal length of a shift when you're short-handed? How long do you want them out there?
That would be max, because we don't play a box where we stand there. We go right after them.
Okay. Well, this week you've got Crookston on Tuesday, and then you travel to Detroit Lakes on Thursday. Assess that week for us, the opposition.
Well, I can't catch a break with these goalies. Sartell's was fantastic, and we got 2 by her. And Brainerd's goalie was at that time, number 2 in the state for save percentage and goals against. And so we knew that would be tough. So we got a couple on her and an open netter. And then I just looked up Crookston's and that Campbell Freehee or whatever her name is. She's number 1 in the state now. So I don't know. I'd really like to, find a bale of hay just once so we could score 6-7 goals. But we'll shoot at whatever they put in front of us.
That home game Tuesday, and then at DL. Then you head into the final week before Christmas, a Christmas tournament. You're heading to the cities again for
the Robbinsdale Armstrong Cooper. They throw that on. We've been down there. I don't know how many years.
Yeah, several years.
Yeah, I think 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. Plenty.
You feel like you get really good competition down there year to year, and
it's really good for us. It's us, Bemidji, and 6 Metro teams that we never get to see. And they're different. They're all AA schools, and I think we open with Osseo Park Center, something like that. I can't remember. Hersher would know that. He knows all that stuff. But it's fun to see different teams like that, and they have a great JV tournament too that they take very seriously. And so I have a blast watching that and watching the kids skate and watch Casa and the staff coach that. So we go down and it's a good time. So hopefully we bring a good game and see what we can do.
Sounds good. Appreciate you talking about your girls today. Good luck this week. 7-3 for the Otter girls. Great start. And everybody's healthy except Lydia Johnson, and we don't know her status for the rest of the season at this point.
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see if that ankle heals, and I leave her alone. She comes, she comes to the games and she supports us, but you can tell it's killing her that she can't play. But today, I know you were talking to Donnie about this, but I watched a Bantam game this morning before I came here. Then I got to go back because he plays at 2.
Sure.
Bantam game, and then the 10U game. 10U girls play at 3:45. So we'll be at the rink all day.
Yeah.
Yep, it's going to be fun.
All right. That's a winter, right, in Minnesota.
Mine, what nothing else to do.
No, exactly. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Tim Will, head coach of the Otter girls hockey team, joining us on our Coaches Show today. Back next week, 8 to 9:30 here on News Talk 1250 KBRF, and streaming live at the Fergus Now app today. We have boys hockey at 2 on channel 977 FM. Bison play at 1:30 pregame, I believe, on here on News Talk 1250, and Otter girls basketball 2:30 on KJ Country 96.5 FM. For Dave Bishop, Craig Olson, thanking you for joining us for our Coaches Show. Have a great weekend.